The NBA Finals are set between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. So let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NBA. And here to give you guys my preview and prediction for the NBA Finals, again, between the Heat and the Nuggets. So if you are new to the channel, please do hit the big red subscribe button down below. Please make sure you're following me on my social media platforms. And as always, hit the bell icon, guys, so you're in fact notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so this is the finals that nobody was expecting. The Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. Man, if you had predicted this finals, kudos to you, pat on the back for you, because, yeah, no one or virtually nobody saw this coming. All right, Miami Heat an 8 seed, and Denver Nuggets, I know they were the 1 seed, but a lot of people counted them out, didn't believe in them, didn't think that they were, experienced enough to get here. And, yeah, that is the state of affairs at this point. So here we are with the Heat and the Nuggets, and I gotta say, taking a look at this matchup, you would say right away it's a mismatch, right? We're talking about a 1 seed versus an 8 seed. Well, Miami's not a typical 8 seed. This is an 8 seed with one of the best coaches in NBA history, an 8 seed with a superstar who is clutch, who is an absolute bona fide leader, and a team that has incredible culture and guys that just, play better and harder than other teams' role players, essentially. And it's just a very scrappy team, the Miami Heat are. So I don't consider them a typical 8 seed, if you will. All right? And when we take a look at this matchup, you think it's a mismatch because of the seeding. But honestly, folks, you cannot discount what the Heat have been doing, because to me, I've done this a lot, and other analysts, I'm sure, have done the same thing, where you just keep discounting the Miami Heat. Right? In the first round, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks. You thought that was never going to happen. Then in the second round, maybe you did think they could beat the New York Knicks, but I know a lot of people picked the Knicks in that matchup as well. And then finally, in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics, a lot of people had Boston winning that, and they went up 3-0 against Boston. And then, again, they go down, or at least they tie the series 3-3, Boston does, and they go into Boston and beat them in Game 7 in Boston. That is difficult to do, all right? So I'm giving Miami more credit here, because I feel like people keep putting this team down over and over and over again when they keep giving you reasons why you shouldn't do that, all right? And again, in this series, it will be the same thing, because Denver is heavily favored here. I think they're like -3, 400 to win the series. And yeah, they're heavily favored. But let's talk about the series. And what I'm looking at is, how is Miami going to guard all of these options for the Nuggets? All right, we start with Nikola Jokic, arguably the best player in the world. Can Bam Adebayo check him? I don't think so. Anthony Davis couldn't check him, and I think AD is the best defensive player in the world. And I know Bam's very good defensively, but if AD couldn't stop him, what makes me think that Bam will, okay? And then we take a look at Jamal Murray, who's been the hottest man on the planet in terms of just straight up shooting the basketball. Lakers couldn't do a thing about it. Can Gabe Vincent, can Kyle Lowry, can Max Strus, and Caleb Martin do anything to slow down Jamal Murray? That's going to be a question mark. And then Michael Porter Jr., he's like a 6'10 wing that can shoot over anybody. He's been super hot from 3. And then you throw in guys like KCP and Aaron Gordon, who are very solid at what they do. So the Nuggets just have a plethora of options, right? And he could have said the same thing about the Boston Celtics, but with the Celtics, what happened here is that both of their stars, or at least one of them for sure, faltered, right? Jaylen Brown had a terrible series. If you're telling me that Jamal Murray has a series like Jaylen Brown did, Miami can win the series. They really can. But I don't expect that to be the case for Jamal Murray. I think he plays much better. And he averaged, 30 points on 50, 40, 90? Like, he was ridiculous. So that is really one of the reasons Boston lost. And, their stars and Tatum and Brown just did not play up to par here. And that's how the Nuggets lose the series, if they don't play up to par here. But if we just expect the Nuggets to do what they have been doing this entire playoffs, they win this series. There is too much firepower on this team. There is too much for Miami to overcome here. But it's not going to be a sweep, right? I'm not picking the Nuggets to win in 4 games. I'm not even picking the Nuggets to win in 5 games. I'm going to say the Nuggets win the series in 6 games. I know that would be in Miami, but I think they can do it. It'll be a 5 or 6 game series, and I badly wanted to pick the Miami Heat because everybody and their moms is picking the Nuggets, man, and you would think like we should have learned our lesson by now, but this is just like that hump. I don't think the Heat can get over, right? They made the finals in 2020, but they couldn't beat the Lakers. Like they made the finals again, but I just don't think they have enough to beat the Denver Nuggets because, again, you take a look, Jamal Murray compared to Kyle Lowry and Gabe Vincent. I'll take Jamal Murray. Jokic against Bam. I'll take Jokic. Then you got Aaron Gordon against Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin's been the hottest man on the planet as a role player. He could also, be a huge X factor. In fact, if he plays like how he did in the Boston series, that's another reason Miami can win this game. But yeah, you got KCP against Max Strus. I think I'll take KCP there. And then, of course, Jimmy, obviously advantage over Michael Porter Jr. But when we talk about the defensive matchups here, people, the Denver Nuggets have the requisite personnel here to cover the Miami guys. So we're not even talking about, hey, how is Miami going to guard Denver? We know how Denver is going to guard Miami. You can put Aaron Gordon, a guy on Jimmy Butler, and he will probably give Jimmy some issues. He gave LeBron some issues, all right? Jokic on Bam. Jokic is not a cone on defense like people think he is, right? Like, he is going to make life difficult. And so you see the best players on the Heat, the Nuggets kind of have the personnel to match that. So overall, folks, I want to really pick Miami. I really, really do, but Jimmy's going to have to go for 40, 45, like on a regular. We're talking he needs to be Milwaukee Jimmy for them to win the series. Against Milwaukee, he had a 56-point game and he had a 42-point game. That's what Jimmy needs to do consistently against Denver to beat them because they just have too much offensive firepower. You try to double Nikola Jokic, he'll kill you with his passing. Jamal Murray shooting lights out. Michael Porter Jr. can shoot the ball. KCP can hit a three. Aaron Gordon can shoot occasionally. Then you got Bruce Brown off the bench, who's an Energizer Bunny. Like, this Denver team is for real. So to me, I want to do it. My heart says Miami because I'm rooting for Jimmy Butler. Obviously, him being a former Chicago Bull and me being a Bulls fan, but I can't do it. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Denver Nuggets, but I'm giving the Heat the respect. Give me the Nuggets in 6. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Who do you have winning the NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, as always?